New details tonight in a horrific murder-suicide rocking Virginia. The Commonwealth's former Lieutenant Governor, Justin Fairfax, accused of killing his wife before turning the gun on himself. Tonight, new court documents painting a grim picture of a family falling apart in the middle of a nasty divorce. Fox's Bob Barnard with the latest details.
Let me ask you something. What does it look like when a man loses everything, his career, his reputation, his family, his home, and has absolutely nothing left to hold on to? What does that desperation look like behind closed doors, away from the cameras, away from the press conferences, away from the applause? Because on the night of April 16th, 2026, in a quiet neighborhood in Annandale, Virginia, we got the most devastating answer to that question. And two teenagers paid the price for it. Just after midnight, a teenage boy picked up a phone and dialed 911. He was shaking. He told the dispatcher he thought his mother had been stabbed. But when officers arrived at the home on Guinevere Drive, they didn't find a stabbing. They found bullet casings scattered near a woman's body in the basement. And when they moved through the house, they found a man upstairs in the primary bedroom, dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The woman was Dr. Cerina Fairfax, a 49-year-old dentist, a mother, a community pillar, a woman who had done everything right. The man was Justin Fairfax, 47, the former lieutenant governor of Virginia, once one of the most promising political figures in the entire state. Both of their teenage children were inside that house when it happened. Their son was the one who made that call. Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis stood in front of cameras the next morning and said something that stopped a lot of people cold. He said this was a fall from grace for a relatively high-profile family that seemingly had a lot of things going in their favor. And he was right. From the outside, the Fairfax family looked like a success story. But behind that front door, someone had been breaking apart for years. Slowly, painfully, and apparently irreversibly. If you are new here, welcome to Shadow Crime. And if you've been rocking with us, you already know what we do. We don't just tell you what happened. We dig into the why. We sit with the uncomfortable questions. We talk about the people the headlines forget. So before we go any further, if this is the kind of content that makes you think, that makes you feel something, hit that like button right now, subscribe to Shadow Crime, and tap that bell icon so you never miss when we drop. Because trust me, you do not want to be late to these conversations. Now let's get into it. Justin Fairfax did not start out as a man in ruins. He started out as a dream, born and raised with ambition running through everything he did. He went to Duke University, got his law degree, built a career in public service, and in 2017 he made history, becoming only the second black politician ever elected statewide in Virginia. He was a lieutenant governor. He was 38 years old. People were already whispering about the governor's mansion, about Washington, about how far this man could go.
New details tonight in a horrific murder-suicide rocking Virginia. The Commonwealth's former Lieutenant Governor, Justin Fairfax, accused of killing his wife before turning the gun on himself. Tonight, new court documents painting a grim picture of a family falling apart in the middle of a nasty divorce. Fox's Bob Barnard with the latest details.
In divorce court documents, Justin Fairfax is described as a heavy drinker who spent his children's horseback riding lesson money to purchase a gun recently, and that he had until the end of the month to leave the family home here in Annandale. The Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis says all of this is likely what touched off the deadly violence.
It all kind of culminated last night when Justin Fairfax shot several times and killed his wife, ran to a different part of the home, and then killed himself with the same firearm.
Police were called to the home late last night by the couple's teenage son. His teenage sister was home as well. Police say Justin Fairfax shot his wife, Serena, 45 years old, multiple times in the basement. His body later found in an upstairs bedroom with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. According to court documents, the couple was in the midst of a divorce. She filed for divorce last summer, claiming they had been separated since June of 2024, but living in the home together. Police say the only incident of alleged domestic abuse they're aware of was when Justin Fairfax called police in January, claiming Serena had assaulted him.
We responded to that scene. There are several cameras set up inside the house. Apparently, Mrs. Fairfax, at some point during these divorce proceedings, set up a lot of cameras inside the home. We reviewed those cameras, and we corroborated that the alleged assault never occurred.
Serena Fairfax was a dentist with an office about 5 miles from their home. She and Justin had both attended Duke University. He was class president at DeMatha Catholic High School and got his law degree at Columbia. Reaction to the murder-suicide outside her dental practice and here in the neighborhood today.
It's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. The kids, like the poor kids. And what a selfish act to do that to your children.
I didn't know them personally, but they were good neighbors and, community minded. And it's terribly sad what's happened here.
Anything like this is upsetting. And then you think about the children because their futures are big time changed.
Never heard of anything like this happening around here. Very distressing.
Fairfax County Police are still here maintaining the Fairfax family home as a crime scene. We're told the children are staying with relatives.
And Serena was right there beside him. Dr. Cerina Fairfax was not just a woman standing next to the politician at inaugurations. She was her own person, her own force. She earned her Doctor of Dental Surgery degree from Virginia Commonwealth University and built a practice in Fairfax County that her community genuinely loved. Her patients described her as warm, present, committed. Outside of her practice, she volunteered, gave back to local charities, ran trails with her dogs, practiced yoga, and poured everything she had into being a mother to their 2 kids, Cameron and Karis. She and Justin had met at Duke University, fallen in love, and married in June 2006. On paper, they were the couple people looked at and thought, they have it all. But here is where the story starts to turn. And I need you to stay with me here, because this part matters. In 2019, 2 women came forward and publicly accused Justin Fairfax of sexual assault. The first woman, Meredith Watson, said he raped her in 2000 while they were both students at Duke, the same university where he met Serena. The second woman accused him of sexual assault during the 2004 Democratic National Convention. Justin denied everything. He said both encounters were consensual and refused every call to resign. He was never criminally charged, but the damage was done. The political career that had been soaring came crashing down almost overnight. He did not run for re-election. He ran for governor in 2021 instead and lost in the Democratic primary. By 2022, he was out of office entirely, back to practicing law, and by every account available, he was not okay. Now think about that for a second. This is a man who had built his entire identity around power, around public service, around being seen as a rising star. And in what felt like an instant, all of that was gone. The judge who later reviewed the divorce case put it plainly. He wrote that Justin Fairfax's mental and emotional health had suffered materially and substantially from 2 personal setbacks, his 2013 electoral loss, and especially the 2019 sexual assault allegations. The judge noted that after the 2013 loss, it took Justin about a month to recover. After 2019, he never recovered at all. What followed was a slow and painful unraveling that Serena watched happen inside their own home. She testified in court that heavy daily alcohol consumption by Justin had become the norm. His living space inside the house was described as being littered with empty wine bottles and piles of dirty laundry. He stopped engaging with the family. He stopped paying bills. The mortgage went into default multiple times. The IRS had already filed a lien against the couple for over $91,000 in unpaid taxes years earlier. Courts later found he'd been sued twice for unpaid debts, with banks winning default judgments against him both times. The man who once stood on a stage making history was now isolating himself in a house he could barely keep.
Disturbing breaking news out of Virginia. Fairfax County police say that former Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax shot and killed his wife and himself in what appears to be a murder-suicide. Fairfax's children were in the house at the time. One of them was the 911 caller. Police say the shooting appears to be related to an ongoing domestic dispute between the couple, who are undergoing what they described as a messy divorce and still live together.
Former Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax shot and killed his wife inside of their home and then shot and killed himself. I know he was served some paperwork recently. Apparently the paperwork indicated when he was next to appear in court. That may have been a spark, and detectives will figure that out, that led to this tragedy here. Again, a mother shot and killed, taken from her children, and then he takes his own life.
Police are continuing to investigate. Fairfax, once a rising political star, served as lieutenant governor from 2018 to 2022. We will bring you more as we learn it.
And then came the gun. This is a detail that should have changed everything and didn't. In 2022, Justin Fairfax used money that was set aside for his children's horseback riding lessons to secretly purchase a handgun. Not long after, he left the house with that gun and a suitcase full of clothes and disappeared. Serena and the kids had no idea where he was. A frantic search followed before he was eventually found alone in the woods of a public park near the family home. When police located him, he told them the gun was for personal protection and that he had taken it because he didn't want his children to find it inside the house. His brother had to arrange for a mental health professional to speak with him the very next morning. The judge who reviewed all of this in the divorce case wrote directly, "It is clear that father was experiencing some kind of adverse psychological event. And yet, despite all of that being documented, despite Virginia having a red flag law specifically designed to remove firearms from people deemed a danger to themselves or others, nobody used it. The gun stayed with him." Serena was not sitting around waiting for something bad to happen, though. She filed for divorce in July 2025. She had cameras installed throughout the home to document everything. And those cameras became crucial because in January 2026, Justin called police and told them Serena had assaulted him. Officers came to the house, reviewed the footage from those same cameras Serena had installed, and determined the alleged assault never happened. No charges, no arrest, just another warning sign that the system logged and moved past. By March 30th, 2026, the judge had seen enough. He granted Serena primary physical custody of Cameron and Karis, ordered Justin an alcohol test an hour before any visit with his children, and gave him until April 30th to pack up and get out of the family home. A 3-day court trial to divide assets was scheduled to begin April 20th, and on April 10th, Justin was served a show cause order requiring him to appear in court on April 21st. That paperwork landed in his hands less than a week before the night everything ended. Police Chief Davis said it plainly. That paperwork may have been the spark. So here is what I need you to sit with. Cerina Fairfax did everything the system told her to do. She filed for divorce. She went to court. She installed cameras. She documented the drinking, the isolation, the financial destruction, the disappearance with the gun. A judge saw all of it, wrote about it in explicit detail, and still did not order mandatory mental health treatment, still did not trigger the red flag law. The system had every piece of the puzzle right in front of it and still could not protect her. She was killed in her own basement, with her children upstairs, days before a court was finally going to separate them for good. What does that tell us about how we treat warning signs in this country? What does it tell us about who the system is actually built to protect? And what happens now to Cameron and Karis? 2 teenagers who lost both parents in one night, in the house they grew up in, and had to make the phone call themselves. Those are the questions that should keep us all up at night. If this story hit you the way it hit me, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment below. I genuinely want to know your thoughts on this one. And if you are not yet part of the Shadow Crime family, subscribe right now and turn on that bell icon, because we are not done having these conversations. Dr. Cerina Fairfax deserved better. Her children deserve better. And the least we can do is make sure her story is heard.